Hello and welcome to another Nikomedia tutorial. So what we do today, we will recreate this animation here. And yeah, this is done with PolyFX. I will show this in physical render and Octane, and so that you know how to make these different colors. And Patreons can already download the project files from my Patreon site. So, yeah, that's it so far. Let's start with this. And we start, surprisingly, with a sphere. And book. Let's make some more. Double this, okay, that looks nice. And I don't want just these triangles here. Let's see it here. I want this kind of shape here. These are quads, and I like this shape. And this shape you get quite easy when you put the sphere in a subdivision surface. So the sphere is set to icosahedron, you see. And so I bring this in a subdivision surface and set the subdivision surface to 1. Now you see we get this shape here with 1, 2, 3, 4. These are all quads here now. And this is what I want. And yeah, I like the size of this and everything, so I could make this whole thing editable. So I go here, current state to object, and I have here my subdivision surface. And be careful here, when you have your subdivision set, the default comes with 2 by 2. But if you set this to 1 only in the editor and you make the current state to object, it will take the render subdivisions. So set the render subdivisions to 1, then you will get the correct one. Good, bye bye. The next step is we need a PolyFX here. Go to my subdivision, select it, and we shift click on PolyFX. The PolyFX becomes a child, and this is exactly what I want. And in the PolyFX I can use effectors, as you can see. And as a factor I use a plane effector. Select my PolyFX, go to MoGraph, effectors, and have here the plane effector. Good. You see in PolyFX, because we have selected it before, in the effector step I have the plane effector. If you don't have it inside here, just whoops, drag it in. And the plane effector, in the parameter I want the scale, absolute scale, and uniform to -1. Then we get this. So we need a fall off, and in the fall off I want a shader field. If you have older versions of Cinema 4D, you can make this with the shader effector as well, but instead of the plane effector. But I prefer this method with the fields. Okay, next step is in the shader field I want a noise, and we get something like this, you see. Let's start to looking okay. Let's make this bigger, about 1000, and maybe more cycles here. Let's say 2 cycles, and we get a nice shape. Let's try some different noises here, and I think I used the Voronoi noise here. Yeah, that looks quite nice. And here up a little bit. Do it like you want, so you see you can do whatever you want. Maybe 3. And of course I want an animation in this, so let's make the animation a little longer, let's say 300 frames. I have 25 frames per second in my project here, So this will be with 25 frames per second, it will be 12 seconds animation. This is nice. Okay, so 12 seconds is it. I make here an animation speed of 0.1, and I want to loop every 12 seconds because I have here 12 seconds and 12. I don't see anything here. This is because I have to go to the shader field and set this to frame. Now we should see it. Okay. Looks nice. Yep. We can change this the noise later on, so they don't have any problem. Let's go again to noise here. Maybe it looks a little nicer, but it's totally on you. Yeah, the other one was more interesting, I think. Two silver noise. Let's see what we get here. Not really. This one is not bad. At least I think so. You can of course try here with the cycles. You get more details inside. You see it here in the preview what you will get. So, but or I go to box here. This is the first one, and simply now I go with the arrow keys down and can scroll through this. Yes, some. Let's see if I find one where I say, "Boah, that's it." They all have some nice things. Turbulence looks nice. I think turbulence. Okay. And save this thing here. Go back here. So now, of course, I need some thickness on this thing. And we could do this with the pi parametrics tools. So here in the extensions with the pi parametric tools with the pi extrude, this would work. So I bring this subdivision surface in the null, Alt G, and under the null I want the pi extruder, or yeah, they can use the modifier or the extruder, doesn't matter. For the extrude you don't need the null, so when we go here, let's see. Pi extruder, I hold my Alt key, and so this will get this. 5 is okay for now. Let's make some caps here. And this works, of course. But this calculates a little slower than a cloth surface. I want to take a cloth surface here. So I delete this, delete without children. So. And I make a cloth surface here. Select it with Shift C, so you can go here to create. Then create generators cloth surface, and I hold my Alt key so that it becomes a parent here. And let's say thickness of 5. And this works faster than I tried it before, so the cloth works faster. And now we want to make some rounding on this, of course. But first, in the shader field, I don't want as many small things. So let's try if we can. does this look? Yeah, okay. That's not bad. Okay. So to make this round, in when you render with Octane Render, you don't have to make the roundings. So you don't have to work with bevel or something else. In Octane shader, with Octane, you can make this with the materials, with the shader. And there is a round edges node, and this will round these edges, as the name say. But we don't have something in physical render, so we have to make this with an bevel. But it's a lot to bevel, so this can take a while that it until it bevels. So I don't make this. Let's bevel it with cloth surface. We want to bevel the cloth surface, so I have to put the cloth surface in a null, and under the null I have to put in the bevel here. So normally I would do this with a shift click on bevel, but I don't want that it affects it now. I want first to make some settings and then drag it in. So I make the bevel, and here I say I go to solid with, so I have just one subdivision here, and this should go quite quick. Yeah, see, this is what I like. Okay, that looks everywhere. Okay, so that means, yeah, we have here some triangles, but I don't fix this now. It doesn't matter in this case. This is not modeling, so that it doesn't matter. And I bring this whole null now in a subdivision surface. So I should get some nice, you see, some nice roundings here. And this is exactly what I want. And let's see how quick this works. And you see, it still is okay. So when we render it, it is okay. So, and it looks everywhere quite nice. Good. I'm happy with this, let's say. Let's make here for the moment a subdivision of 1. This is just so that we can have a quicker preview, or we can even work at the moment without subdivisions here. And activate the subdivisions only when we render. Good. The next step is we need more of these spheres. So let's see how we can do this. What I want is, first disable this all. I go to my subdivision. I want to clone this subdivision surface here. So I bring it out for the moment. So bring this out, this sphere. And I want to clone this sphere and make smaller clones of it. Let's go to here to lines, or yeah, got lines. So we see it a little better, display lines. So I make now a cloner. I select my subdivision and alt click on cloner. And I don't want a grid array, I want a linear array with nothing here, just this here. And now I want 3 is okay for me, 3 clones. I need a step effector. I select my cloner, effector, step effector. And bring it to here so I know to where it belongs, to this cloner. And the step effector should give me a scale. You see, we get 3 clones, an absolute scale with, let's say, minus 3 scales, so minus 0.33. So I have 3. You can of course make 5 clones, but for the tutorial I make it with only 3 clones. So this is nice. This is exactly what we need. Now I know I have 3 spheres here, so let's go back to my row shading these lines. These 3 spheres, I want to make one object out of it. So I take my cloner in a connect object, go to my cloner and alt click on connect. Oopsie, this is the wrong one. Where is the connect object? Alt click on connect. And in this connect I say, see, I did not validate it, it's not necessary in this case to validate. You can validate, it doesn't matter. But it shouldn't be necessary, but I go right click, current state to object. Now I have here 3 circles. Let's see. You see it here, we have our 3 circles now. And instead of this sphere we had before, I bring this connect under the closed surface here and bring the PolyFX under it, and you see now we have these 3 clones. And we have this depth effect here. And of course we can activate the closed surface. And we have a very interesting thing here. So, but they look all quite the same here with the noise. So what we can try is set the noise here to world. It makes not much of difference. Object. We can play with the seed. Okay, I think this looks nice. Yeah, I like this one. Maybe make it a little bigger. 1500. Yeah, this looks interesting. Okay. Yep, I take this one. Good, save it. And the next step is now to color this. And now we need, first what we need is an atom array to have this cage thing here, something like cage. This, yeah, you know what I mean. So we need our subdivision surface here. The cloner, connect it. We can bring out this connect here. And now I could say, let's take this with and make an instance of this. So I want to show you something. Where do I have? I select my connect and go to instance, and I bring this instance. Now let's deactivate it and hide the subdivision surface. So I have marked just the instance here. Bring the instance in an atom array. So alt click on it. So, and that's me. 0.2. Oh, you can make 6, should be okay. This works, you see. But as soon as I make here the PolyFX is now on this atom array 2, and I don't want this. But I want to keep the instance. So we can do now one thing. We take the connect and put it in a null, Alt G. So still the closed surface works on the null as well, and I put the PolyFX not under the connect, put it between the null here. So now I have the full thing here, but here the PolyFX works. See, now the PolyFX works only on the connect, but not in the instance. This is exactly what I want. Let's go here to NA so we see this better and make maybe the hdri a little bigger. 0.4, oops, 0.4, 0.4. Okay, this should still work, everything. Yep. And now we color this. And how can we color this? We don't have a cloner anymore because we can't delete this cloner connect thing here because we have everything in one object here. So we don't need the step effector and everything, or we put it in a backup null. Maybe we need it later. Backup. I have for all of this, for these things I do every time, I have scripts in my own layout. So like here, user scripts, Nikomedia scripts, and here you should have somewhere, yeah, the backup null that creates just a backup null and hides it, and. But I want to start here with the standard layout, so you have the same like me. Okay, so what yeah, backup folder. Don't need to connect this, bring it in the backup folder, bye. Hide the backup folder. And this is now our rig, this is nice. And yeah, start to simple, I start with the physical render part this time. So, or should I make this with the Octane? Is the easier one here, but no, I start with the physical. I make a new material, and I need 3 different colors, one for each sphere here. How can we do this? We need a gradient and put it on our subdivision surface. You see, this gradient does not really work like expected. Of course cannot, because we need from inside to outside in spherical order. So what we need is a 3D spherical. And the start is in the middle, so 0, 0, 0. And now you start seeing we have here black and inside white. When we put in here, I have a preset with 3 colors. Load. It's the Rastafari 3 colors. You see, yellow, green, red. Perfect. So we have different colors. But I see here that the green gets into this red. This is not what I want. The same mistake I had in the original one, and I didn't see it. But when you look closer, you see that I have yellow parts on the white. This is exactly the same. Like I have here the green parts on the red. But we can get quite easy rid of this. Let's go. Bring a red one to this side. And now we have red, green, and yellow. Perfect, yeah. What we see, the green shimmering here, this is just because of the reflection. So when we make here reflections, and this is the only thing, so you can simply make the different colors when we play this now. We get this here. Okay. And yeah, of course, I let rotate the whole sphere in my original animation. This should be no problem. Let's make a null object. Oopsie. And this is all together. bring in all together. And here I simply rotate this null here. And then everything rotates, of course. To animate the rotation, I think, yeah, it's so easy. I make a keyframe at 0, then I go to the last frame, let's see, 300, make 360 rotation, and play the animation, and we get so, and let's, it's a little too Viel 2000. I want to see a little more of this. Maybe it's not the best. Yep. Okay, I go with this now. And of course it looks much better when you start. Okay, when you do this, you should activate your bevel as well. And then you get this one. Okay, let's make a scene with the physical render here. So I always use my Nikomedias Scene Rig because you have the quickest, fastest, whatever. Bring in the rig. Insert rig. Yeah, normally, as I said, I have it in the toolbar, everything, and don't have to search. Bring down the floor. Background, not the floor. Yeah, okay. Yeah, one low GI. Let's see what we get if we render this. Interactive render region. It's a little bit because there is quite a lot geometry, so okay. Yeah, let's make some material for the thing inside, so, and bring out the interactive render region to my toolbar, Shift F12. Interactive render region, I have it here and I drag it just to my toolbar, so now I have this here. And yeah, make another material. This is the metal. And go to the reflectance. Flanell conductor. Let's make it chromium without color. 15. Okay. Bring it on the atom array and render this. Let's go here. Low GI physical, and I go to fixed. So we get a quick preview. I disable the subdivision surface and the bevel, so it should render a little faster because it does not have to calculate a lot. So disable it. And let's see if this renders quicker. Yeah, this renders almost immediately now. Okay, little up with the quality here. Okay, nice. But now we want to implement this in a real life photo or something else. So in Octane it's easy because you can use the shadow catcher, so the floor, in a spherical picture. In physical render we can't do this. We need, if we want to do something with a compositing, we need a flat picture. But we don't have one, so I want to show you how easy you can make a flat picture with the Nikomedias Scene Rig. So Shift F8 and I search for an hdri. Whoops, make an outdoor hdri. Different. Do we have here which one could look nice? This could look nice, okay. Bring this in the hdri tab here. I see here I have hdri and a JPEG version of it. So I want this to see in the camera, and I don't want to have the floor. I want a compositing floor here. Okay, background. The compositing, it should be here, but I work on updates, so this will change later a little bit. And disable the floor here. And you see this does not really work here because we don't have any background picture in here. It works when I say no floor, then we have that, but then we don't have shadow on the floor of the, and this looks not natural. So when I say now I want a background picture, Shift F8, and I drag in a background picture here and say, yeah, this is a spherical picture. The problem what we get is with the floor now, you see we have this kind, it projects a spherical picture here. And this is wrong, we need a flat picture. So how can we do this? I go out of this. Let's hide the thing here, let's hide the all together for a moment. So we have this floor here, which does not really look nice. Let's go disable it. Now I have this background. This background is because I use a JPEG because it's sharper, and usually a hdri is just for lighting, and so that hasn't to be very sharp or very big. So when I disable here the picture, let's see, normally we should see, is this hdri settings seen by camera? When I go off and bring object, bring this in here, yep, you see this is very sharp, everything here, you see it in the here, and the hdri, when I activate the hdri, you will see the hdri is seen by camera on, is by far not as sharp. I hope you see it, and here you see it quite nice. You see this line here, so it's more than, it looks like it has no anti-aliasing or something else, or here you see it very nice. And as soon as we bring the background picture, it's much sharper and it's everything. That's the reason I use a JPEG for things like this. So now let's find a nice sorry, a nice spot for our sphere. So this could work. Let's bring in the all together thing here. Yeah, so we have this. Let's bring a little of this inside. So okay, and I want a flat picture, a flat background picture of this here. Good. I have my background picture in here now, and what I do now is, let's go to the floor. I have the background. What I do now is, there is in the with the rig, with the Nikomedias Scene Rig, there comes a script called copy background. So go to the extensions, scripts, and Nikomedias Scene scripts, and here somewhere we have copy background. I click on it, and you see I get a background picture. I have to do nothing now. The only thing I have to do is, in the render settings, I have here a render setting just background. You will get this render setting when you have the rig and import all the render settings. This you can do very easy as well with this is the same under the scripts, Nikomedia scripts, and here insert render settings. And if you insert them, you will get these render settings, and you activate just background. And now you only have to say how big you want it. We want a 1:1 picture, so let's say 1080 by 1080. So, and now I have just to hit render. I have to do nothing. Just hit render, so Shift R, render, and you see it renders a flat picture of that's what I wanted. Now it's a flat picture. And it renders without anything, without objects. It doesn't matter how many objects you have in the scene, it renders just the background, what you want, this part here. Okay, I go to save this as whatever. Let's say a PNG, and 8-bit is okay for now. Okay, I have this on. Let's go to temp and PolyFX. Do not have a PolyFX tutorial here. So, what a fun with PolyFX. Where's my PolyFX here? There should be one inside here. Where did I? Let's see. This is this. Let's see. Shift S. Ah, I did it direct in the desktop. Okay. File, save as, PNG, desktop, PolyFX tutorial. And here I make a new, name it text. This is for textures. And save this PNG. Save. And now I can use this texture, so I can delete this, don't need it anymore. Can go back here to LoGi, go to my things, and in the background now I can say I want a flat picture, and I use the new made PolyFX tutorial, this one. So I have now this one inside. We can disable this here. Now we have this picture, and with the flat picture I can use now a compositing floor. When I go to the render setting now you see we have a shadow under it, and everything works perfect. This you can forget. So this is what we render then. And we have the sharp picture, we have a shadow under it and everything, and this is now in a real footage. So we can make here, let's say, let's go to middle GI 720. This should work, and render this. But when we render this, let's go to the subdivision surface. That should look. Let's see if this does what we want. Middle GI here. I want to render this. This is okay, and I render this middle GI. This needs a little bit for calculating the geometry, of course, but the render itself should go quite quick. See, that works. Okay. And we have this nice in our real footage inside. Okay. I think I don't have to make the animation here because we know the animation works. So let's show it again. That works perfect. Okay, now to the same with the Octane render. We do the same with the Octane render. Delete this guy here, delete the. As I said, you can download already the project files. The link is in the description. And the project file is for physical render and Octane render. So then extensions, user scripts, Nikomedia scripts. I bring them out here because let's see how often I need it. And I want to delete the rig. Delete rig, so the rig is gone. And bring inside now an Octane rig. So inside rig Octane. Of course, we have to do the same. Bring the floor down. Zip. Okay, let's go to Octane. And make materials. First, let's see what we have here. It's Octane dialog. No, save it. And we have this. Okay. Let's make first the materials. So a new Octane material. Material and glossy material. Work with the node editor. I know I say it every time, but 1080p is on the monitor too less to work. So we need a simple gradient. We need not an Octane gradient, we need this gradient. In Octane gradient we don't have this 3D spherical. We go to 0 here and drag it on our subdivision surface. Whoop. Let's see what we get. Not exception Octane live viewer. Render it. We should see. So cannot see that we have to connect it as well. So we see the same like in physical render out black, in inside white. Make the raster thing here. Load preset. Exactly the same. You see, it's totally the same. We have the green thing here, so we do the same like before. Bring the green a little to the inside, control drag the red to the other side, and done. Should be yellow now at the inside. Let's see. Yeah, it is yellow in the inside. roughness. Okay. That's good so far. Let's make another material here. Octane material. This should be the metallic material, and with a little roughness. And bring it on our thing. So let's see. Maybe make this a little darker. Not this background map. Now what do I do here? I do something wrong. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Something I do wrong, but yeah, it doesn't matter. So maybe I should do this with the color and not with the float, but we see it works. Now what we want is this bring it inside real footage. So we have to do I need this again? I don't think so. Let's bring this OCTANE Rig, HDRI, and we use the same HDRI. Okay. Don't want to see a background. Yeah, this is it. Floor is okay. Shadow catcher is on. That's necessary. It's important. Let's bring in an background picture on. So far, so good. And let's see. I'm waiting the whole time to see something. Of course, I can't see anything. I have to render this. Yep. Oh, this is a little. Here we have a little thing. I have to repair this. I have a small issue here in the background picture. But in the next update this will be fixed. So, so don't use this. We use the HDR, but you see immediately we don't need a flat picture now for this. This is just the HDRI, but we don't need anything. We just need a shadow catcher on, and we are done. So we don't need any flat thing playing around this flat picture or something else. See, it works perfect. And that's it, more or less. We have here our animation. This should okay. Works. Because here we can change the rotation to where we want it. Same like before, and this spot here. And it looks nice. Same here. Check, check. And waiting a little bit, and we should see the subdivision surface thing. So, okay, that's it. As I said, with the background, it looks very blurry here. This is a small issue in my Espresso setup, because I have here the picture in a layer shader, and this works not really. But this will be fixed soon. So, but in this case we don't even need it, because normally in this case I would need it, because we can play with a depth of field or something else. But you see how it works. Okay. The next tutorial, I plan 2 more tutorials this year, maybe 3, I'm not sure. So the next tutorial will come soon. If you have questions, requests, complaints, please write me in the comments, or on my Facebook site, or on our Facebook group, or wherever you want. And yeah, if you want to support me on Patreon, you can do so. You will find the link in the description. That would be very nice. And it would very nice as well if you just want to donate. And you will find a link to PayPal. And yeah, I don't want to remind you about Christmas time or something else. I don't do something like this. Okay, this is it for now. I wish you all the best. Stay healthy, stay safe. And best everything here from Vienna, Austria. See you soon, and tschüss und baba.